You know what we're talking about. We're talking about Moon Knight, episode 2. And a little bit, because I usually skip the intro, the Marvel logo and stuff. And then kind of, I don't even, I fast forward the credits, see if there's any credit scenes or not. So I got done a little bit early. In a little bit, we'll be joined by Mr. Marvel himself, Albert, in a little bit after he's done finishing up the episode. So I want to welcome everybody. Welcome, 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 welcome. Just got done. So this is going to be a spoiler review. So if you haven't seen the episode and you don't want to know anything, then come back later on. But yeah, there's quite a bit to talk about. So I'm going to open up this Mountain Dew because it's 12:48 a.m. Got work in the morning, but I've been wanting to do the live stream for this new Marvel series, Moon Knight. I'm very intrigued by the series after the first episode. So, cheers to everybody who's up and who's ready to rock and roll and discuss this episode. That's right, James. Shout outs to James right here. What's going on, James? I know you've been watching this. Okay, so I know we're gonna be waiting for Albert, but I'm gonna just get my overall thoughts on this episode. I feel like it was a little bit more kind of. No, let me see this like right now. No, I don't want that. There we go. I feel like this was a little bit more sloppy, more sloppier than the last episode. Honestly, what I got vibes wise, I got like Spawn the movie, Constantine, and a little bit of The Shadow. I don't know if you have. I yeah, James. James, I got actually at my work, my manager, her daughter works at the Dutch Bros, so she's been able to get me Rebels, the Rebel energy drinks. So they're a help. So I have one in the refrigerator. So when I go to work in the morning, I'll definitely pop in one of those. And sometimes I drink coffee now. So I think you're working right now. So I'm hoping work is going good for you. If you're down, I guess we can go watch Morbius. I haven't seen it yet. But let's get back. So yeah, this is really felt like those three films. It really felt like a lot of like Spawn. It really felt like the film Spawn, not the comics or the HBO special. It really felt like Spawn. A little bit of Constantine. Well, I gotta say, I gotta give kudos to Oscar Isaac. I mean, you've seen a lot of actors who portray like a different personality thing. You recently saw it with Tom Hardy and Venom. A lot of people have been discussing about the first episode how much of a Venom vibe you get from that. You still get a little bit of the vibe on the episode 2, but honestly, I think it kind of differs a little bit more. Now you got three personalities, and I think it kind of it's intriguing. I like it, and Oscar Isaac has been doing a phenomenal job. Um, I really do like the character Steven because you do feel for him, even though it's like you see that all the time. It's great. It's funny to see that character and how feeble he is, and then you look at Mark, and Mark is just this cold blood assassin. The split dual personality, and then you have the God. I forget his name, but I'm pretty sure Albert's gonna tell me. But yeah, this God, pretty much the third wheel, and overseeing both these two. Having an objective. Mark has an objective. He needs to accomplish his objective. He's pretty much like Ghost Rider if you think about it. It's kind of like the Nicolas Cage Ghost Rider, that movie. Now I'm getting Ghost Rider vibes. So I like it. It's par so far with the comic. Like I said last stream, me and Albert did, and like I said about the series, I don't know too much about Moon Knight. Um, I don't know if it's like I know I just recently found out. I believe James the amulet, the little like beetle thing looking thing that looks like the mummy. I think that's actually a time or like a kind of like a he's able to like maybe go through multiverses in the comics with that. I think that was the gist of it. It's kind of like it could either be like he can go through multiverses through that, or he could It's kind of like a Thanos, the one of the Infinity Stones. It has to do with something like that. So they haven't revealed that in the show. I don't know if that's the case. I mean, Ethan Hawke really wants this, like, this little beetle thing, this little golden thing. So he really wants this. But I think absolutely important. So they might introduce that, especially with all the multiverse things we're getting, and how, as far as Moon Knight connecting with kind of like all these, crazy, like, let's say Spider-Man and Daredevil and stuff. I think he might connect to, they might have some connection with future plans, I suppose, especially when we're in the multiverse kind of sense. I mean, we're also getting invasion, so it's intriguing to see where they're going to go at the end of the series. But so far, they're just kind of, this is this is definitely an origin of Moon Knight as a character, and for new audiences like me, knowing just a little bit of who Moon Knight is, and I guess Mark and Steven, and the god that because I believe in this episode they mentioned that Mark was gonna die, and then this god Grantum told him, he made him an avatar, which we get the avatar, not the blue guys. Ethan Hawke reveals he was one of the first like avatars, so that's intriguing. Everything, all that is really really intriguing. Sorry. Here. We'll see. Mark is the main person. Steven is the other personality, not the main one. Me, Marvel injured. So yeah, so that's what I'm getting. It seems like Mark is the main guy, and then it goes, and then Steven. I do like that scene a lot. I do like that scene where, because we see Mark, in all these mirrors, and he's in kind of like, he's in the inside, he's not taking over the body. Majority is Steven having this body, and then when Steven falls asleep, then Mark takes over. There's like, oh, he says there's like a wall there, but whoever possesses the body has more gains more control over, to sustain it. And then I do really like that scene where he switched around towards the end, where now Mark has the body and he's going on this mission, and then Steven is in the kind of like, it's funny, it's kind of like the mirror verse or whatever, but the inside, and he can't break away, and it is like the first time where he's kind of like conscious and seeing the other side of the things, and he doesn't like it. He's scared. He's kind of reminds me of like a little kid, scared, doesn't know he needs to be comfort. He's just really, I mean, you get it because through all the madness that's been going on with him trying to figure out what is going on, and then he finds out he has a wife. I don't necessarily like the wife. I don't like it's very odd. This episode is it seems like Marvel's. I love the Marvel universe. I think a lot of the basically the people that live in the world full of superheroes, I think they're accustomed and used to all this craziness, but it still feels like in this show, especially in this episode, it feels like they like Mark or Steven doesn't, and whoever's all the other people surrounding him, not the ones that are controlled by Ethan Hawke. I'm talking about, like, at the gift shop and stuff, and how he reacts throughout the whole episode, and his wife that gets introduced. It doesn't feel it. I was just thinking the whole time, like, you don't. This is not how real people like would act in this situation. It's very odd. It's very very odd. Steven, yes, I understand, like, you understand the panic he's in, but he's quipping, he's joking, I'm sometimes making light of the situation. It puts you at ease, but it's very odd how he reacts to a lot of the stuff and how he just goes along with it. And a normal person, or it just doesn't feel like anybody would react like, it's very cartoony. That's why I got a lot of the shadow, if you ever seen the movie The Shadow, or even its comic as well, Alec Baldwin was the lead, and it just absolute, like, if I say Spawn, but it really, the goofiness and the heroic side and just the how people act throughout the whole thing. It really reminded me of that movie, and it's kind of crazy to think you would get that kind of sense when basically like Marvel has done this so many times, and we're moving forward with all these projects and stuff. So it's so interesting to see that we still have that. They really they stay in their formula. They really just throw the jokes at you. I really noticed it in this episode. I'm not a fan of having jokes play in the part of the episode or a movie if it's not like kind of if it doesn't kind of go with the flow. And I felt like there was a lot of misses here. So we are joined by Mr. Marvel here, Albert. Good night, Albert. It's nighttime. How we doing, Albert? How we doing? Can you hear me?
Yo, what up?
So, just talking a little bit about a little my sense of how I felt about the episode a little bit. I assuming you just finished it. I finished it.
Yeah.
I actually just skipped through the like the Marvel logo, the introduction. I'm like, yeah, just give me to the episode, and then I kind of like fast forward it on the end credits to see if there's an end credit, and I'm like,
Mhm.
okay,
Same.
that's how I get done. That's how I'm in and out because it's late, and I just want to, if it's not a banger, it definitely I just want to just get right into the review.
hmm
Um, just overall thoughts. Did you enjoy this episode more than the first one?
I think the first one I enjoyed more, but I
I
still
I
like this one. I just because the first one was new, something new.
I agree. I think the first one was like because I mean at the end of our review, I said that it was more intriguing to me. And it
hmm
kind of brought me into the fold. I thought this one was actually a lot more sloppier. I
Mm.
thought it was and you know what? If in the beginning it felt like it was going super fast, but then it kind of slowed down. Maybe the last like 20 minutes, 15 minutes, a little bit. Um, there's some. I think I have more negatives towards this episode than the last episode, but I do have positives, and I'm gonna go straight to one of the positives. I said Oscar Isaac is doing a fantastic job. The one thing I really liked about this episode, Albert, though, and we discussed this a little bit last stream, I they have the glowing white eyes on the suit, and I actually really like that suit, and I like his other suit. So there's two suits, and I didn't that like I said, I don't know too much about Moon Knight, but I actually like the idea of that. So the clean cut, like nice suit, gentleman suit, I guess you would call it,
Yeah. It's called
was
Mr. Knight.
Miss Knight.
Mr. Knight.
Mr. Knight
Yeah.
was Stevens, and then the battle kind of suit is Marks. I
Mm.
like that. I like how
I
they
like that
both have
too.
different suits. What'd you
I
think
was
about
wondering
it?
how they would incorporate Mr. Knight here because we saw promotional pictures, and then I was like, is that gonna be like his alter ego when he's just like out doing casual
Just
stuff?
just chilling, right? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
I thought that's
Yeah,
exactly
that's
what
what
I
I thought.
thought.
So then it was like Steven, he doesn't know what the heck the suit looks like, right? So when they're telling him to put on a suit, that's what he thinks a suit looks like. So I thought it was funny. I thought it was a good way of doing that. And it still looks cool. And then to add on to what you said about the eyes, when he gives the body to Mark, and then Mark transforms from Mr. Knight into the actual Moon Knight,
Hmm.
you see just for a little bit, they throw the white eyes on Oscar Isaac's face, and I was like, that looks so badass. Even if it's Moon Knight without the mask, just with the white eyes on Oscar Isaac's face, I was
Yeah,
like, that looks sick. Even if they went that route, I wouldn't mind. But I
yeah.
like the full cover too.
It looked really good. Like
Mm-hmm.
in the promotional pics, it was like, but I always say like it was kind of like when Ben Affleck's bat suit when that first came out. We are like, let's see how. But when you see it moving and you see it in action, it looks really good. So I thought the suits looked great.
Same
I
with
thought,
the Batmobile. I remember when I first saw the promotional pictures for the Batmobile and the Batman, I was like, it doesn't look good. And when we
oh,
saw
the
it in the movie,
Batman.
Yeah, and
Robert
the
Pattinson.
when we
Yeah,
saw
and
the
then it
movie,
was
we're
like
like, damn, that was the best scene in the
that
movie.
was the
That
best scene in the movie.
badass scene.
Yeah.
So,
um,
but in the
I
promotional images for Mr. Knight, it showed his eyes weren't white. So I don't know if they changed that or if they just
yeah,
decided, or maybe
yeah.
later we'll see him with like regular eyes. But I'm glad that he had those bright white eyes in here. Like
I love the
the
I love the
design's
glowing
really good,
eyes. I
and they
love the
even
glowing eyes.
this face mask they threw a little texture on there because there's like this scar thing that goes all around. Um, yeah, loved it. Let me see. No, I don't have a picture of Mr. Knight up here on my little wall. Just
It's
Moon Knight.
really cool. Like I can see myself getting a Funko Pop of just Mr. Knight because I like
Yeah,
that. That's a clean.
get ready
That's
to
a
drop 500.
that's gonna be a very popular cosplay this
Mm-hmm.
year and next year for sure because it's so easy to do and that's
Yeah,
great. You know, you want
it's
that's
easy.
great for the fans and stuff.
You just need
Um,
to make the mask, and then the rest you can pretty much do however you want.
yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
You can even do like a Deadpool-esque kind of thing because that kind of reminded me a little bit of Deadpool. Um,
Just without the animated eyes.
yeah, yeah. The okay, so since we're talking about the suits, let's talk about the fight scenes. The fight scenes, it really remind me a lot of Constantine a little bit.
Mm.
Um, I like some of the shots too. I like some of the shots they used in this episode. I liked the use of mirrors, the use of like you had his wife on a like a little moped motorcycle, and you could see the little the side mirrors, and I just thought the shots were great, and the action sequences. Here's the thing, Albert. Here's the but. You know, I know it's a Disney Plus show, and I'm pretty sure they're saving their budget towards the finale or something crazier towards the end. But the CGI in this episode was really noticeable to me, and I thought it was really bad. I thought the creature design and CGI was really bad. I thought so. What's the god's name? I can't remember. What's the god's
Conchu?
name? Conchu?
Yeah, Conchu.
Yeah, yeah. I thought he looked terrible. I
Mm.
thought he didn't look
Like
good. I thought he
like the
could have.
design or the CGI?
Both. I think it
Mm.
was kind of weird because he doesn't have a neck, I
Don't have a
believe.
neck. The only thing
This,
that's holding like his head to his body, there's like I can't tell if it's a little bit of hair or some cobwebs, but there's like something faint. It's not holding it together. It's just like kind of connects from one to the other. But yeah,
yeah,
there's no neck. It's just like a floating head.
yeah. It's. I kind of wish the design was a little bit better done, and I think it doesn't. It doesn't help for the fact that the CGI is just not that good. I don't know if you felt that way too,
Also,
but
like when he's talking, it's just there's no mouth movement or anything. To
no,
me, I think it looks cool, and there is shots where it's like they look weird or he looks weird, but there's the shot of like when they're in the what's it called, the little storage facility, like that looked dope, right?
yeah,
The shot when he was like just in the daytime, when they're quick, I guess, because you can't like you just see it real quick. When they're quick shots, I think it looks cool. Um, but yeah, I don't really complain about CGI. But when I did see the what's it called, the my brother over here, and he said, "You liked the episode?"
Yeah.
He liked it.
stop lying. Stop lying to yourself.
Was it better than last week?
What's up, man?
I missed the first 5 minutes.
You missed the first time in, so you saw most of it.
I like last week more.
You like that? We both like last week's more too.
Same,
Yeah,
but
yeah. I think last week was just
first one
better.
was confused.
He said he's confused
Kind of
a little bit.
So I gotta watch the podcast.
It's
No, I was
very,
gonna say, so he's gonna tune in right now, so we can help explain it to him a bit.
here's the
But
thing though,
no,
like the I have to say real quick because he makes a
uh-huh.
good point because the first two like last episode and this episode, they're really just throwing you into it. Like they're
Mhm.
giving you exposition, especially when they introduce this new character. I don't even know the wife's name. I honestly,
Yeah,
she's kind of forgettable, honestly.
Leanne, Lydia. I feel like it's an
Oh,
L.
yeah, is Lila? No,
Oh, no, I think it was that.
James is gonna help
Um,
us right now because James remembers the name. Hopefully, um, I don't.
yeah, she was. I don't know. We'll see where her character goes.
It's really throwing you in. Like it's very. Last episode we said probably because they wanted that aesthetic aesthetic, because it's Steven he's disboggled and all that stuff. Like we are the audience, we are Steven. But now that we're in episode 2, I've noticed like especially in the beginning, like this thing like goes. Like there is really no time to breathe. Like they really go from here, 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 here. Layla,
Mm.
Layla, or
Layla or
Lila,
Layla? It was one of those.
Layla. Am I saying that right? Layla. Dude, this thing. I think this one had way more pacing issues, and the thing was that I thought that it nobody reacts normally. Nobody reacts like a person would react. Like it's very cartoony, which I get. It's a superhero show. That's why I don't know if you're. I don't think you've ever seen the movie The Shadow with Alec Baldwin. Yeah,
No.
that's what I really compared it to, and it's a very like old, serialized kind of comic, and they made it into a movie. And this, I don't. It doesn't. I was kind of frustrated because I'm like, dude, nobody like Steven. What is he doing? you know, like he. First of all, why is the security guard letting him back and showing him footage? Second of
Mhm.
all, he's he's going with Ethan Hawke, or he lets these people in who are not obviously are not policemen or officers or whatever. Just barges in. Where's the warrant? Like just normal stuff. Everybody kind of knows what to do, and we get it. Steven's like a weakling, and he lets everybody blah 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 walk all over him. But then he goes with Ethan Hawke, and then they're having this conversation, and it's playful, and it's just bizarre to me. It's just like somebody's like nobody acts this way. Nobody, and I get it. It's Marvel writing, but I just didn't like it. I didn't feel like this was like it didn't feel genuine. It felt comical, very comical to me.
You see, to me, nobody acts that way, but also no one's in those situations. I don't know if I was thrown in and like then I'm like, what the heck? Like, who's talking in my head and what's this creature?
So you're gonna turn
I,
to everybody and like, oh, so we all kill kids now. And we all like that. This is good soup. This is good. Like, it's come on, dude. Like you. I don't know. I just didn't. I wasn't feeling that. I feel like you could really. Okay, here's the thing. I guess because it's throwing me off because I'm expecting more of a grounded kind of show. Because
Mhm.
like I said, I don't know too much about Moon
Oh
Knight, but
no, you're not gonna get that.
yeah,
They're
I'm
on
not
already
gonna
in
get
Egypt.
that. They're in
They're
Egypt.
already in Egypt.
They're in Egypt now. I'm not gonna get that. I understand that. I'm getting mummy vibes now. I'm getting Brandon Fraser mummy vibes. But I just feel like, I think it's the jokes again. It's the
Mhm.
jokes that annoy the shit out of me. And I'm just like, they're not warrant. They don't need to be there. Can we just sit down and have like a normal serious conversation? Is it okay to have a serious conversation
But
sometimes?
that the joke's only with Steven's character, and I can already see. I don't think Steven's going anywhere. I feel like,
I would argue it's Mark too. When Steven
yeah,
and Mark are arguing, it's
uh-huh.
played as comical. There is no sense of
Um,
like
I feel
there's
like
never a
Mark's.
sense of dread, you know?
Well, I feel like Mark's not really joking about stuff.
No,
It's
he's playing the straight man.
yeah,
But the
it's all on the
convo,
Steven side. The
yeah,
combo. Well, yeah, that's the combo. They're trying to make it seem that way, right? Um, but I don't. I feel like by the end of the show and onto moving to future projects, the Moon Knight will
mhm,
still be Mark and Steven. And I can already
yeah.
see where, like, they're gonna have gags, right? Where they need Mark, but Steven's there or something, and Steven's gonna be interacting with the other superheroes, but they need Mark. I don't know. I feel like they're gonna. I can already see how they're gonna play into the comedy with the split personalities.
Which is fine if
Yeah.
it's kind of if it flows great, if it makes the episode like it's not it it just it just always use it. It's another example is when we do get
Mm-hmm.
when we're with the wife, I'm just gonna call her the wife. When we're with her and Steven just finds out that he's married and everything,
That
and
was
then
shocking to me.
but the whole scene in there, Like
Hmm?
it's just bonkers. You know, he's just like, oh, who would ever divorce you? And this is like, dude, you
I don't know, because I feel like, imagine, like, dude, I'm single, right? And then this guy's telling me you're married. I was like, what the hell? I've never dated anyone before, and what do you mean I'm married? And then this, like, she's pretty. She's a very pretty woman. So if they tell me like, oh, I'm married to you, I'd be like, what the hell? Like, I feel like I'd act the same way, honestly. But maybe that's just me.
well,
I don't know.
here's the thing. She
Divorce?
says,
What do you mean divorce? You're beautiful. You seem like a cool person.
well, obviously she knows that he turns into,
Oh yeah,
Moon
that time
Knight.
on guard too. When she was telling him turn into the suit, I was like, oh, she knows. I was like, dang. So
And yet we're getting all this dialogue of like, what's wrong with you, Mark? Like it's repetitive, a lot of
she doesn't know
repetitive stuff.
about Steven. She
N-
just so
no.
that's
Yeah, she doesn't know about or she doesn't know about Steven, she knows about Mark.
hmm
But go back and rewatch it and just watch it and just don't just like just look at the conversation as a whole. And then like yes, I get it. It's just a TV show, but sometimes we are in, god damn it, we're here. We're in 2022. If freaking Modern Family could have dialogue that makes more sense, that people would have that dialogue and react that way, then Moon Knight, that's a problem. Because if you just that conversation alone with him, Steven and his wife, it's very odd. It doesn't like this is her reaction to him and then his reaction to her just doesn't it doesn't it doesn't make any sense. It's not very realistic that this conversation would go like that. Like this would play out so long like that. Just watch. I mean, I guess I'm not putting it into words where I'm hitting it right in the head, but I just feel like it was, I guess for a writing standpoint, it was like, let's get here, we got to get to here, we got to get to here, and it doesn't matter how we get to here, even if it doesn't really make sense and it's very odd, we're gonna get to here. It was very, especially the convenient. This is convenient. This is convenient, especially when she's just right outside and he
did you
falls.
see that message when I sent it to you?
No, no, I didn't get
I sent
that.
you a message while I was watching the episode. When that happened, I messaged you something like, "Oh, that was perfect timing."
Oh, okay. I thought you meant you're
Oh
watching it. Yeah,
no, I was talking about that when like he gets out of the what's it called, the storage facility, and
yeah.
then she just happens to be there.
And how
But
convenient. Yeah.
it's convenient, but she was tracking him, so it's not like it was random.
She did say that, but
Yeah.
like right at that moment where he trips and like
hmm
she barely doesn't
hmm
hit him, or even like when he went to get his storage, right? He's
hmm
like, oh, I don't know if you could find Mark Steven. He's like, and the guy's like, I never forget a face. He just it's very odd. I'm not saying this is like that didn't the episode just kind of like I it was wonky to me. It was very wonky. But like I said, I think Oscar Isaac is doing a phenomenal job acting wise. I really like what he's doing for the Moon Knight character. I actually really dig Moon Knight. I like the look. I like everything about it. I even like the
It's just what
ideas.
surrounds Moonlight that you have problems with.
What was that?
The only thing you have problems with is what surrounds him, like the show,
Uh,
the script, the.
just the overall production, yeah. So some
Mm,
of the like it's not. I'm not saying like it's the worst thing I've ever seen because I think this is more coherent than maybe
so,
like let's say Venom.
uh-huh. So do you think with Moon Knight, with maybe a different director, they could do something better? Different director, different writers.
No, I wouldn't say it's necessarily the director. I think it's necessarily the writing.
Mm,
It's the pacing. It's the editing. It's the editing and writing. I think the shots look great. Like I said, I was saying, pointing out. I think the directions pretty good. I think the direction's pretty good actually. Like I said, the use of the mirrors, the the
something
overall
like
look of
that.
it looks good too. Like I said, it kind of reminds me of Spawn a little bit.
Mm,
Um, so I don't necessarily think it's the director's fault. I just think it's not executing as good as it should. Um, but I don't know. It was an episode where I was like, it's cool, but I'm not like super hyped. It didn't leave me super hyped. It didn't leave me cliffhanger when they're like are at the end where he's at Egypt. It doesn't leave me super hyped, but what it did do was it made me very again more intrigued, like to see. I want to see where this keeps going. And before you joined us, I saw one of the videos on YouTube, and I think the amulet or whatever in the comics. James could say this too. I don't know if he because he knows more comics and he's commenting right now, but that little amulet that Ethan Hawke has is supposed to be kind of like a him. He could jump through multiverses or like something with time or something like that. So that might have a connection to the overall big picture of Marvel, but who knows? You know,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because Ethan Hawke wants this thing and he has it.
mm-hmm. Oh, now he has it. Yeah. By the way, Ethan Hawke's character, I like him. He's doing good with that character. I do think he's crazy, right? And it's interesting that he was the Khonshu's avatar before Mark.
Yes, very intriguing. Yes.
So when he revealed that, he's like, because he's like, oh, you don't have to pay attention to him, you don't have to listen to him, and then he's even like getting it right on the head of what he's saying, even though he can't hear him. He's like, oh, did he say this? And it's like the exact thing he said.
Okay,
right?
so those comedy moments I liked. I was like, that's pretty funny because obviously he knows about this deity or I'm sorry, this god. So I thought the jokes worked really good on that aspect for sure. And then he has the cane that has a little bit of that power too.
Sliver
Yeah.
of power. Oh yeah, you maybe it is connected, like the amulet, or I mean the what's it called, the beetle. I forgot what they said.
So
What
it's the one god's amulet, and the one he says is the first. What's he say? Boogeyman maybe, and she wants it back because he was talking about another god, right? Another
yeah,
god who wants it. Yeah.
Amet or something like that. The
Amulet or something like that.
It's interesting because you say that you think in the comics that the beetle or whatever.
There's more to it. There's more to it.
Yeah, and so this might connect to the multiverse. Well, when what was Ethan Hawke's character's name again?
I don't know. I call him Ethan Hawke.
Arthur. When Arthur uses the power of the thing, and the jackal comes out of it. I don't know if they're called jackal. That's what Steven calls it. Like that might be him conjuring something from a different universe, right? So it might connect. I don't know. Like now that you mention it, it could be that. But then it's like, why can't anyone see it other than like Mark? And I assume Arthur can see it. I don't know.
Well, you got to remember the dude. What's that god's name again? Their god,
Khonshu.
Yeah, Khonshu. Like they can see him. Nobody else can.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think necessarily it's a multiverse
I feel like that's
thing.
in the mind. I don't think, or maybe it is the same as the jackal, but I don't know. I hope they explain the jackal, why only he could see it.
Yeah, because obviously it's attacking until it's attacking and nobody can see it, but it's there.
Just it is. At first, I thought that he couldn't they couldn't interact with the environment, like only through he could grab Moonknight and like throw him, and then that's how the environment was getting messed up. But now they show that he can interact with people because he hit what's her name, the wife. So it's like, oh yeah, they can't see it, but he can see you and he can hit you. So it's interesting.
I got it. You know what it is? It's Bleach.
I never seen it.
I know, but whoever watches anime knows what I'm talking about. Bleach. It's hollows. They're hollows.
Didn't they do something like that in that one anime with
Jujutsu Kaisen?
No, not Jujutsu Kaisen. It's an older one. It's like they're in high school. I forget what it's called. Maki. The main character's name is Maki, I think.
Oh, Soul Eater.
Yeah, Soul Eater.
This is more Bleach. This is Bleach. Bleach. This is Hollow. Yeah, this is if you guys have seen Bleach, it's Bleach. Bleach. It's obviously it's attacking until she it's attacking and nobody can see it, but it's there. Just like the
It is.
Bleach. This is more Bleach. This is Bleach. This is Hollow. Yeah, this is if you guys have seen Bleach, it's Bleach. Yeah, because he sees the footage and there's nothing there, but
Mm-hmm.
obviously there's something there.
That was funny to me. I thought when I first saw that, I thought he was just going crazy, and there really wasn't nothing there. But as we see later, there was. It's just you can't see it. Maybe it was a
It,
vampire. I don't
it's a
know.
hollow. It's
Blade's
a
coming up
hollow,
soon, right?
James. James, it's a
So,
hollow. um,
mhm,
Going back to Ethan Hawke, he's doing the role well because he is
yes.
supposed to be like this cult leader. Everybody follows him. He probably would have his followers die before he would. He's a scumbag on the inside.
He
I'm
is.
still trying to figure out because they said that Ethan Hawke is the one that wanted to put the glass in the shoes for that
Mhm,
opener. I'm still trying to figure out why does he do that?
yeah.
Is
I
that
don't
gonna
know.
be? Is
Just
that gonna be? I hopefully that gets a payoff like towards the
when
end.
I watched this with my cousins and that happened, he's like, "Why?" And I was like, "He's a cult leader, right?" And he's like, "Oh, that makes sense." I was
How's that
like,
make
"Okay."
sense? Cult
I
leaders
don't
don't
know.
put glass in your
I don't know that
slipper.
much about cult leaders, but I thought it was funny how Steven was like, "Oh man, Mark's killed. He's a mercenary. He's killed people. He zip tied them and shot them in the back of the head. This guy's a monster." And then he meets Arthur, and he's like, "Yeah, we'll kill children if Amit says that we need to kill them." And he's like, "Oh yeah,
See,
I draw the line there. I'm back
it's
on Team Mark."
it's all talk and not show though. Disney's never gonna show that shit, you know.
Oh no, no.
So James says it's because Mark has the power just the same as Ethan Hawke's character, so they can see it and others people can't. Which, yeah, I got that. I got that. It's just I
Yeah.
think, but they're still there. They're
But
still,
like Conchu, he can't fight, so it's like there's a difference. Conchu
yeah,
can't. Conchu's that's his avatar. Like the avatar means Khonshu can only. Well, even then, that's Mark controlling Moonknight. The only thing that Khonshu's doing is giving him the power.
yeah.
So there's a difference between Khonshu and the Jackals. Where it's like, yeah, they can't see them, but at least with the Jackal, like he can destroy stuff. He can destroy the surroundings. Khonshu's just an observer.
So
Mm.
James says self mutilation to get closer to the god.
Mm.
Maybe I don't know, but Ethan Hawke's the one that suggested his ass ain't reading the comics. I think he just wants to be crazy, dude. We'll
Yeah,
see. We'll see if there's a payoff.
I wonder if he's imagine if he's method acting and he's actually putting broken ass
Putting
glass in the
glass, yeah.
shoes. Oh shoot. Oh man. Yeah, we'll see.
I don't
I want to
Ethan
know
Hawke's
more
that
about
way.
him. I hope they because I feel like they're gonna kill him off. Honestly, I don't think he's gonna make it. I feel like especially with the more known actors that come as villains, like they kill them off, right? Kurt Russell, they kill that guy off real quick.
Well, that's
Um,
the problem with Marvel is they never have a good villain.
Unless they're like not known names, I feel like they'll keep them around. At least the chances are higher that they'll keep them around. But yeah, I don't think Ethan Hawke's gonna make it past episode 6. But I hope we know more about him before he does die. Like why exactly? Why does he put fucking glass in his
There's only
shoes?
6 episodes.
Why did Conchu choose him? I want to know that. I think there's
Oh
only six
yeah.
episodes.
Um.
So
Yeah. Yeah. That's an interesting. Yeah. What was the fallout?
mhm.
And I don't think Ethan Hawke's lying either.
I don't think so either. Like he has
He
to.
he was
I
spot
believe.
on.
Hmm.
Conchu, he's a baby. He's like, he's a child. He throws tantrums. He tells you one thing, but he says one more job. You know, so it's
Yeah.
he
Oh
knows.
yeah, I believe that too. I believe that too.
So
So
he had to be with him for a
I want to
very
know
long
why
time.
Conchu chose him, and then I also want to know how he finally got rid of him. Or like, yeah,
Hmm.
I want to know how they got into the relationship and how they
Or
broke
did
up.
he get rid of him? Or did Conchu get rid of Ethan?
Exactly. Like I want to know what split them apart.
Hmm.
Um, it's interesting, and I'm glad that they did that. I got maybe it's straight out of the comic books, right? But maybe it's not. And either way, I'm glad that they are doing this. Something else that I like, and I told you because my expectations for the show in the first week were that we were gonna see the story through Mark's eyes and see how he gets Moon Knight. But now they just throw you right in, right? Now I do appreciate that we started off the show with Steven and in his shoes because like I feel sad for Steven, like I feel Steven is he wasn't there. It was Mark, right? Mark was the first mind in the body.
Yeah,
Like,
he was about to die, like they said in the episode, and then
no, he did
Khonshu.
die.
Oh,
They got
yeah,
that in the
they brought him
comics
back.
too. Is that he
Yeah.
died and Khonshu told him, "I'll bring you back to life, but like we can make a deal." So I like that they confirmed that in the show too. And but like I don't know, Steven must have came before that. I think like the split personality.
That's
But
what I'm trying to figure out. Like, where does Steven
I'm pretty
come
sure
into
because
this?
they always said that that was like the deal was that's he would unless Steven happened later. But I mean, starting off the show with Steven, like we saw him first, so like we care for the I care for the dude. You know, I don't want him to.
It's
I don't want
101,
him
man.
to leave. I
Buddy
don't want it to just
101.
be Mark. So
Yeah.
hopefully it's them too. But I do appreciate now that they started off the show with Steven and that
Mhm.
like he's already been Moon Knight because they didn't need to show us. Or they don't always have to show us how it happens, right? They could tell us, and they could always do a flashback, but it doesn't always have to start at the beginning and go in chronological order.
I agree. You don't have to go right. Oh yeah, you don't have to go right off the bat. You know, this
Mm-hmm.
is what happened. The acid just dropped on him or something like that. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's what I was saying before you joined. Is I think it's great that we kind of like because Steven is the sympathetic character, and
Mm-hmm.
when he's, I just absolutely, I absolutely love the scene. I think this is a fantastic scene. Is when it's the shoe on the other side, where
Yeah,
Mark has the body,
I love
and
that too.
Steven is in that. I call it the mirrorverse, but his
He's
inner
in the
thoughts,
sunken
whatever.
place.
Yeah, and just how Oscar Isaac plays it so well because he's frightened. He doesn't know. Mark is telling him to breathe. He's just like he's frustrated. He wants his body back.
Mm-hmm.
He's frustrated with all the things that have happened in his life, and it's all because of Mark. And the blood is not only on Mark's hands; it's technically on Steven's. It is on Steven's. So I thought that scene was absolutely well done. If I had to
Yeah.
take away anything from this episode, I think it was that scene alone.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't, they weren't dressed up. There was no action, nothing. It was just one actor playing two characters and nailing it. And I thought that was fantastic, man.
Yeah, and applause to the boy Oscar
Oscar,
Isaac because
Oscar
I
Isaac.
fully believe that they're it's the same actor, right? And
Yeah.
it's all his acting. They're not throwing like CGI in his face or anything to make him appear a little different. It's just him acting as Steven and acting as Mark. I fully believe that they're two different people, even though they're like in the same body.
Yeah.
But it's just the way he carries himself. But like, yeah, it's the voice, right? But it's just even the facial expressions.
Mm-hmm.
One looks like Mark confident, and then Steven's like
And one has
clueless.
the, yeah, one
And,
has the American accent and the
and yeah,
British
I love that
accent.
scene too because like he's like, oh man, how long have you been doing this? This feels horrible. Like he's like he feels
Yeah.
scared.
And then he gets an understanding of
Mm-hmm.
Mark being trapped in there. So I
Mm-hmm.
think later on, of course, I don't think you're going to see either of them go away. So after Moon Knight series, and we get more Moon Knight later on, they're going to have an understanding, and they're going to probably switch. You know, have that balance of switching bodies or switching to take over the body, which is
Mm-hmm.
cool. Like, I mean, I'm down for like a Mark and Steven, and it's kind of like it kind of reminds me of Deadpool a little bit. No, not Deadpool. What does it remind me of? It reminds me of some other stuff that I've seen where it's kind of like
Well, I
I
know
like that.
Split had
I guess
something.
anime, a lot of anime. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, maybe Naruto doesn't like I didn't watch Naruto. My brother was a Naruto.
No, fantastic. It's not the same thing where they're switching. Well, kind of, but you're
Mm-hmm.
right. Kurama inside of Naruto, and then Naruto being able to go into the inner kind of like consciousness, talk to Kurama. Kurama's trapped, and then they have this mutual understanding towards the end
Mm-hmm.
of the series, and they're both he's freed, and he gives Naruto willingly power. Like absolutely, you nailed the example. That's exactly what I'm probably thinking. Yeah. So but that progressed. So that Kurama wanted to kill Naruto and hated Naruto, and then later on, Naruto, even though he had all this hatred and Kurama killed his parents, they had an understanding, and they became like one kind of being a little bit, whatever Naruto was going through in life, marrying, having kids, Kurama was along for the ride. So absolutely right. That's what I want to see in this. I want to see Steven and Mark. You already got glimpses of that in this episode to really see what they're both dealing with, you know. And I think we're going to see more of that progression, of course, in the series. But after the series, I would love to see these two kind of like balance that out.
Yep, same. I am. I don't think that they'll add another personality. I hope they don't, because I like it just
No,
being them two, right?
no,
And
no.
Khonshu, them two and
Th-
Khonshu, but
th-
Khonshu's more like
then you're gonna get Deadpool.
they're just giving them no for real. Just
voices in
giving
the voices in the head.
And you know what? Another thing that I said I didn't like last week was that I don't like that they use the reflections and like the reflections moving differently and talking differently.
Hmm.
But now after watching this episode, because they use it a lot more, I was like,
A
I feel like
lot more.
it works because you get to see the acting, right, and you can't really do that with just voices. You kind of have to see the face, and
I mean,
I'm
there's
glad
there's
they
not a
did that
lot of
it's not
options
just
you could
mirrors.
do.
Yeah, there's
You know,
not. So
like that's
like, oh
kind of
well.
like the only thing you could do with like Norman Osborn, right?
hmm
And
Like,
then
yeah, you
how?
can go inside the mind and they could be talking inside the mind, but they're weird. Like, they can't do that every time, right? It's better
Yeah,
to, it's easier, makes more sense to just do the reflection. So, but I liked how they got creative, like
I
when
was gonna say they got
with the
creative.
gun and he's talking to the reflection of the gun. I was like, oh, that's interesting.
They got.
And I think they did through like reflections of glass, not mirrors, just like glass too. The
Mhm.
fish tank one also. At first, I thought he went behind the fish tank, and I was like, "What the hell are you doing?"
I thought
But
she was
then,
gonna be able to see him for a minute.
oh shoot, that
Yeah,
was crazy.
and then like talk like, oh shit, what the hell?
Mm-hmm.
Um, the bus scene, like when he crashes onto the bus too, and then he's
Mm-hmm.
talking in the mirror in the bus as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Exactly.
and
They can get creative with it. So at least it's not just mirrors, you know.
that's what I'm saying.
Um.
I think the direction is fine. I just think the writing is very wonky at some points, and like the execution of what they're trying to do sometimes just doesn't work. But when it comes to the visual style and the acting, I think it works. I think it works for sure.
They chose a phenomenal actor, right? I haven't seen too much stuff. I didn't care for him in
Well, when they
Star
said that this
Wars.
show is like, because other big time reviewers have watched like 3 episodes of this, and they said that
Mhm.
like Oscar Isaac is what's carrying the show.
I
They're
believe it.
not. They're not wrong. Like he's.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't have Oscar Isaac in there, and you have maybe like maybe a no name actor, or I just think he really brings something more to the table. Another thing, like they compare Moon Knight to is Batman. These
Oh,
first these
sorry. It's just you said Batman, and I thought when Arthur said like he said something about vengeance, and he even like did a different voice, and I just thought about the Batman and got a chuckle out of me.
I will say that in this episode, he don't feel like Batman to me. He don't feel anything like Batman to me. But what's kind of funny is like the suit kind of like reminds me of like a Batman suit because he's like bringing out these like what are they like those little disc like little
Mhm.
those from
Little
his
batterings, right,
yeah little bat
out of his
his
chest.
chest yeah. But he don't feel for now. He don't feel like Batman at all to me. I mean, he's smart. Like you see that. I mean, Layla was talking about like all the things that he's like learning, and you hear about Mark's past, and Steven's. I guess he is the brains too. Like he's smart, but
Yeah.
Steven brings more knowledge about, especially when they're going to go to Egypt. He probably knows all that shit. Of
Do
course,
you
that's
think
his
Mark knows all
home,
that?
baby.
Do you think
I,
Mark knows all that too? I don't
I
know.
think Mar-
Maybe
I
it is
think
just
I
Steven.
think Mark knows some aspects to it, but I think Steven knows a little bit more. It's kind of like the Uncharted movie where Mark Wahlberg solely knows quite a bit, but is it Tom Holland's oh shit, oh my god, Uncharted. Who's the main
Drake,
Drake,
Nathan
Nathan
Drake.
Drake.
hmm
Yeah, Nathan Drake knows a little bit more, right? So
hmm
he's able to crack a little bit more codes, and he's the other piece to that. So that's what I kind of got out of. Maybe that will happen like in the next episode when they're like exploring Egypt and shit.
I had read like a little theory, right, where they said that Mark, that because you know how they even said like, "Oh, you're talking to your mom again."
Yeah.
That he's not talking. Like even I from the first episode, I was like, it doesn't feel like he's talking to his mom. It's like, is it just voicemail? It,
Hey, mom, going
and
on a
but
date.
they said that people think that Steven came out of like multiple personality disorder, right? It is, but they said that Steven came out of he was just supposed to be the identity of Mark. And somehow he ended up like creating that.
Oh, yeah,
But
because
so
he's kind of a spy a little bit. I think
hmm
Layla is a spy too, because she
that's
has
why
the
she
move.
even
Yeah.
said too, like because she said something about like, oh, I thought Steven was like just in your
Oh, she's totally a spy. She's totally
yeah.
like I think in the comics she's a spy.
hmm
She's totally a spy. But
I can
you're
see it. But what I was gonna say was I saw someone saying that the letters that his mom writes to him, like that's not the mom, that's Mark writing those letters and
to
making it
Steven.
appear like it's from Steven's mom
Oh,
to try, which is sad, right? But um yeah, it's just I don't know if I wanna know exactly how Steven came to be, but the little hints that we're getting at it, it's like just sad to me because then you see his personality came from Layla, right? Because she's all like, "Oh, that's my favorite poet," and she's like, "No, that's my favorite poet." And
yeah.
it's like, all right, that's where
How the
personality.
hell did Mark and Layla end up together? I just don't see it.
You don't see it? I don't
Hell
know.
no.
I see
Don't
it.
see it.
They're attractive.
I see Oscar Isaac landing Jessica Chastain. But or even maybe getting some Ray, but I don't see those two. It kind of reminded me of like Bob's Burgers a little bit.
Mm,
She did. She reminded me about like one of the characters from Bob's Burgers.
mm.
Um, I don't. I hopefully she. I mean, her character's fine so far. I don't think we'll see later on. Um, but I don't know. I mean, this episode was. I think there was a lot more misses. Honestly, I just didn't really care for it as much as like you guys said. Like the first one's better to me. But there's some good things about it. I do really like that suit, and I just want to see. What's crazy is we got the whole episode until the very end where we started to get the CGI fights and stuff. Right? I was like, they just had to wait till the last like 15 minutes of the episode, then we get some action sequences. I'm curious to see how much more we're gonna see because I really want to see the suit more in action. I wonder how
You
much.
see during the day also. I want to see how it looks like during the day. I
Yeah,
guess
I
if I
just
want to see that, I could just go to Disneyland, like James said.
I'll just go to Disneyland, or maybe they'll have the suit on sale for you. Um,
Mhm.
like I just, I'm curious to see how much kind of action sequences we will get with the suit.
Yeah,
Going
same.
forward, I think we'll see more of probably what was that? What did you call it? The
The Mr. Knight.
Mr. Knight. I think we'll get more of the Mr. Knight suit because it doesn't cost very much than the actual like. But I want to see that badass like Moonknight suit. But we'll see. I mean, this episode was fine. It wasn't anything to really write home about. It still has me intrigued going forward to the next episodes. But it definitely was a slow. It's crazy. It was a fast pace because we're jumping all over the place. But then it was also like nothing too crazy. I guess I could say.
I guess I
Um,
can see Moon Knight during the day at Disneyland. It
he only
makes
shows
sense
at
though.
night. Oh yeah, he only
Um,
shows. Does he only show it? I mean, that makes sense. He
it
only
makes
shows at night.
sense.
Wait, so if he only shows at night, okay, this was a curious one because I think I heard some YouTubers say this about after the episode one. So because we did have action sequences during the day, and then we saw bodies laying all over the place during the day. So I'm assuming that when Steven goes to sleep or when Steven gives the body to Mark, that when he's fighting as like in that body. He's not fighting with the suit.
I don't think so. I don't think, at least with those guys, I think he was the only times he's used the suit that we've seen in the show is against the
Yeah,
Jackals because he needs the superpower.
But we
But
don't.
when he was just fighting the thugs, I don't think he was using the suit.
He was just using his
Just
abilities.
Mark. Yeah, just
Yeah,
Mark's abilities. That's what I think.
yeah.
And
Because we don't.
I wasn't sure when I first saw the episode last week.
You're cool, James. Nobody cares that you went to Disneyland recently.
For real. But yeah,
Paying
I
$300.
wasn't sure about that. But now it's like I think I don't think he used the Moon Knight. At least we haven't seen the Moon Knight suit during the day. But I think they can do the Mister Knight suit during the day. But I don't know about the Moon Knight one. We'll see.
Well, I mean, if you only do it, I mean, I'm assuming that's Steven's. That's his version of the Moon Knight. So
Mhm.
I'm assuming that that's only since uh, Mark can only do his at night. I'm assuming Steven can only do his at night, probably because it did have it gave him strength, it gave him powers, the same as the other suit did. It's just more Devier. That's just fits more Stevens.
Yeah, like there's the business suit and then there's the action suit.
Yeah, yeah. So, what would you rate it, man? Let's go 0 out of 5.
Mm, Probably still at the three, right at the three mark.
Ooh,
So far.
did you give last episode a 3?
Yeah, but they're high three, low three.
Okay, I'll give you that. I'm gonna give it a 2.
Mm,
Not saying that it's like garbage or anything like that. It's just was a. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's gonna be other episodes in the future that's gonna be way more entertaining, and I can go back and watch than this episode. So, um, I mean, there's not too much to talk about here. I think the next episode is going to be more of definitely something more they're going to give us,
I
especially
think so.
since we're
They're
moving
in
along.
Egypt, and the last time we saw Marvel in Egypt, I think was X-Men Apocalypse, and Oscar
Oh,
Isaac was in that.
yeah,
Too.
yeah.
And I
Nobody
did not
wants
like that movie.
Ivan News. Nobody wants Ivan News, man.
Yeah.
Movie's garbage. Ruined what they did for Days of Future
Days
Past.
of Future Past loved it. X-Men Apocalypse hated it.
Just
Um,
complete shat on what they did.
was that
They
the?
had a
Oh
perfect
no, that
slate.
wasn't the last X movie. The last X
Perfect
movie
slate.
was the Jean Grey one, the Dark Phoenix, which was also like whatever.
I
But not
watched bits
about
and parts.
Apocalypse. I did not like Apocalypse, but yeah, it's like I hope we get some cool Egypt scenes. Right, I'm ready to see Egypt at night. I'm ready to see the action scenes at night. They're gonna spam shots cinematography with the moon. That's what this whole show's about. If there's ever a time to do it, it's now. So I can't wait to see those shots with the moon and Moon Knight. Um, I think the show will get better now that we're like not because we're in Egypt, but like I feel like now it's gonna
It's
build
nice to
up.
be
Right?
somewhere else.
Um,
Yeah.
we'll see what happens when Amit gets unleashed because like I'm pretty sure she will. Um, yeah, it's nice also to be somewhere that we haven't seen yet in the MCU
Yeah.
because yeah we saw it in fucking what's it called X-Men, but that's different. This is MCU, right? So I'm excited. We'll see what happens.
So
But
James gave it a 5. James, you like
oh,
everything.
nah,
I don't
dude. What do you
stop it.
mean?
Stop it. It's
I would
not a
agree.
5.
If someone
Get
said a 4, I would say yeah, I could see a 4. Maybe like by the end of it, I'll say like, yeah, first 2 episodes, I could see them as a 4.
it's not
Nah,
say
dude,
it's
we're
not a
not in that
5.
territory. You
It's not
want
a
so look,
5.
and so you know how you said at the end of the episode, like it wasn't like some big reveal or anything, right? It's just they're in Egypt now. Um, to compare, I was thinking about this. I was like, in the second episode of Loki, they bombed the timeline. That was crazy. That was like, oh my god, they bombed the timeline already. Like, I can't wait
Yeah.
for next week. Like, now, like I still can't wait to see the next episode of Moon Knight, right? But it's
Nothing major.
it's not like Loki or Loki. I was like, what's gonna multiverse? Like, it's starting. Yeah, it wasn't
Yeah.
anything major, and it doesn't have to be, but like I feel like they could have ended it better. But
James, Batman can kick Moon Knight's ass.
oh, and about that too, I have heard for like the longest time
Just
that
kidding.
Moon Knight is a ripoff of like Batman or heavily inspired from Batman.
I mean, Marvel and DC have gone
They've
back and
always
forth.
done that right
Yeah.
back and forth. Yep.
Yeah.
So
So it's fine. It's whatever.
I
But
think he's
I'm
he's not
digging.
he's not a copy. At least in the show, he doesn't feel like
Stop it,
Batman. Right?
James.
This
It's
guy,
not a 5. It's not a 5. You need to stop that.
hey,
I don't
like
know what
5
you
out of
smoking right
10.
now. 5 out of 10. Yeah, that would make more sense for sure.
Out of
But
10, I'd just double my score. It's a 6.
all right. So I'm gonna end this so I can get some memes and at work and stuff. But I think I'm still digging it. I mean, I still like the show. I don't think it's. I think still it's not getting the same hype as the other Marvel shows, but it's not getting the same hype, but it's a very intriguing new kind of character we're getting. I'm more I think I'm more enjoying this and then not looking forward to Miss Marvel.
Yeah, Miss Marvel. I I can't say I'm excited for it. I'm gonna watch it, right? I hope I hope after the first episode I'm excited to continue watching it. But yeah, that one's gonna be. It's just I read something earlier today that said that Miss Marvel will be the first PG thing, the first PG product in the MCU, because everything else is PG-13, right? And then also, if you're talking about the Netflix ones, they're TVMA or whatever. This is the
Yeah.
first PG, so I was like, I don't know. That feels, if anything, the high school stuff should be TVMA over the adult stuff. But
I just have no faith in that show. Or I guess well, I don't know, She-Hulk might be good. I hear pretty I
I've
don't
I heard the same thing about you about She-Hulk, that they're struggling or something to because they don't like so far what they have.
yeah.
So
Yeah. I don't know.
She-Hulk, I don't care about the character too much, right? Like I don't know. I like regular Hulk, but I hope they make like always. If
I
I
will
don't care about a character, I hope they make me care about them.
I will say with the with this episode, there ain't that much violent. Like there isn't really very violent kind of thing. I think last episode was more violent, honestly, because they are fighting the CGI, and most of the time when they're fighting this hollow, you can't see it. You
For like
can't
the
see
first
it.
half, you couldn't see it, yeah,
No,
which is
you really can't see that thing. Like it's a it's really a chameleon, or it's like really like invisible. Like they that was one of the okay, direction wise, I would have changed that a little bit. You know, I don't know. It's all right. Well, I said my piece. I said my piece. We're gonna move on to the next episode next week. Once again, live stream. I think we're gonna have way more to talk about because I think episode 3 might be a banger. Hopefully,
mhm.
so. Uh, thank you guys. Thank you, James. It's not a 5. I hope you had fun at Disneyland. My other friend was at Disneyland too.
Game's
Uh,
trolling.
he's trolling Miss Marvel 10. Yeah, this is coming from the guy who probably liked oh, I'm sorry, Albert.
I liked it. I liked it. All right. I know where you're going with this. Or
Yeah,
I can't tell because now you could say Eternals or you could say
oh,
Captain Marvel.
oof, oof,
So I don't know
oof.
anymore.
I might have to go Captain Marvel on over Eternals.
Dang.
I was so bored with that movie. So boring.
They should
So
have cut
boring.
30 minutes out.
Way too long. I did not like that movie at all.
Yeah,
But I
most
really hated Captain Marvel.
when I saw how decisive it was, I thought like, it's just internet people, right? But now even with people in my life, like there's a good chunk that are like, oh man, that movie was trash. So I was like, oh shit. I'm like, I like it. But
If you're gonna put that much effort and time to go to a DC movie and go watch the Batman.
yeah, no, I hope no one watched Morbius.
Or Spider-Man No Way Home. Oh yeah, no, don't.
Yeah.
Oh, I should say before we go, Chase did watch that movie today.
Huh?
He sent me a text. Here, I'll read the text. So our good buddy Chase, Overdue Bobcat 50. You can find him on Twitch. He
Send me
goes,
something too.
he said, so he texted me, he goes, well, Morbius sucked. And I went, haha, I heard it was super short too. And he says, it was way too short. There was some aspects of the movie that could have been way better if they added some more story, and it felt like they just try by to make it as quick and painless as possible. So that's basically his review right there. So
Hey, look at what I sent you on Messenger real quick.
gotta watch Morbius for the memes. For the memes, is it memes for show?
Yeah, that's what he meant. He said you gotta watch it for the memes.
Oh, I saw this one. Be careful out there. I had 2 Morbius tickets in the car, and someone broke it and left 4 more.
Yeah, when I saw that, I showed it to my cousin, and that convinced him. All right, we're not gonna go watch it. So we didn't go to movies while we were
40,
over in Oxnard.
40 mil. 40 mil. That's what they're tracking it at. Or they thought they were hoping 50.
I don't think that's bad, but I don't know. I don't know that much about box
No,
office.
it's not. It's actually, I don't know what the budget was, but it depends on like the drop on this this
Mhm.
this week. And I think
Dude, I'm
Sonic
thinking an
2,
80% drop, honestly.
Sonic
People
2
are
comes out this week, I think.
Sonic 2 comes out this weekend, and you know what else I want to watch? Is Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah, I do want to check that one out too. Does Fantastic Beasts 3 come out this week?
2 weeks from now. Or
2 weeks from
not,
now.
no, not 2 weeks. It comes out next weekend, I believe.
And they already got reviews out for that one. It's very mixed. I've heard
Yeah, I'm
some
probably going to be in
reviews.
the mix. I didn't like it because I didn't like the last one.
But I heard Sonic 2 was actually really fun. And I did like the
Yeah.
first one, so I'm looking forward
I
to
liked
that
the
one.
first one. It was fun. Probably go watch the second one this weekend. Or, I don't know. We'll
But I,
see.
I plead you guys, do not go watch Morbius. Do not give
Nope.
your money to Sony. Fuck those guys. I don't know what they're doing. I just stop it, Sony. Just stop it. I hope to the sweet baby Jesus that across the Spider Verse or across I hope that is another like awesome entry into the Spider Verse. I hope it's just as good, just as good. I don't need it to be better. I just need it to be just as good. And then I just have hopes for that. But everything else that they're doing live action wise, fuck Sony, fuck them. I'll probably get this video taken down because I said fuck Sony. But yeah, all right, we're gonna end it. I need to go memes. You guys should go memes unless you're working, James. So you guys have a good one. Thank you. Subscribe, like. I did do the I have an Arcane video I just put out there. Mayans. Oh my God, Mayans is coming out too. Mayan season 4. So I'll be doing reviews on that. So it's gonna be a busy schedule. And then we got also
Walking
Doctor
Dead final
Strange.
season.
Though walking. Oh, nah, no, but shit. But
No, I'm just kidding.
just go to the comics.
Mhm.
And then also
Doctor
Doctor
Strange
Strange
tickets go on
2.
sale in 4 hours. Oh my god!
It's only two
No, they
two
go on sale.
hours and something like one of the
Oh yeah,
shortest
yeah. When I
Marvel
was
movies.
looking at the show times, I saw that it was 2 hours and what 4 minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I was like, what? I was like, I really thought at least like 2.5, right? 2 hours and
So
four
I'm
minutes
I'm a
include
little
credit.
bit worried now. I'm a little bit worried. I'm a
I
little bit
can't. I'm
worried.
not because when movies are 2.5 hours, we go watch them. We're like, they could have cut 15 minutes out. So maybe Doctor
Okay,
Strange,
okay,
maybe
yeah.
maybe they cut out, maybe they trimmed the fat. So
Uh,
I'm surprised. I'm shocked, right? But at the same time, it's like if that doesn't mean it's like that doesn't mean I'm not worried. Like, but
I'll just say
I
this, like
rather I
I'll
rather
just
leave a movie liking it and saying, "Oh man, I wish we got a little more," than leave a movie and kind of liking it and saying I would have liked it more if they trimmed it. You know,
I'm just there for Bruce Campbell. I don't care about anything else.
who's that?
Oh my God, you don't know who Bruce Campbell is?
Ash?
Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna be a Multiverse of Madness.
He's gonna have a cameo, and I guarantee you, he will probably be Ash.
We'll see.
We'll see.
But
All right, we gotta end it. We gotta end it. I
we'll,
gotta go to bed.
we'll
I
talk
got.
about Doctor Strange and other Marvel stuff some
We'll
other
talk
time.
about Doctor Strange too. Now we'll talk about when it hits. We'll talk about that, and we'll. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's gonna be some banana stuff to talk about on that, and we'll do
Sure.
more videos later on. So thank you guys. Good night. So long. I'm Anime King Daniel's son. See you later, Moon Albert. Notice you changed my avatar to Black Panther. Awesome. All right.
Oh yeah.